Belfast.
So an African migrant just tried to behead a white man in North Belfast, Ireland. Video is too graphic to post. So
yeah, that happened. Look, middle of the street, trying to behead someone in the UK.
You can clearly see this is what's going on. Belfast situation, base docket. Be careful of the videos. Yeah. Let me lock in with that because this is actually, I'm gonna be real. This is like way bigger news than like the Carmelo Anthony thing. Like this is insane.
Yeah.
So reform politicians let this monster into our country, and this is obviously a fucking some retard, right? Read the comments. I mean, I don't know. So basically, this dude went. My statement on the sickening events in Belfast. Okay, let's see it. He cut his eye out and cut his nose off. You can't show the video on stream. I watched it. He just stabbed him up.
Good morning, everybody. I've just watched
that sounds horrible.
Horrific footage from Northern Ireland, from Belfast.
So far.
Of one man on top of another with a knife, obviously screaming and shouting. Some patriots effectively attempted to intervene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what has happened to the victim, but it didn't look good.
Probably not good.
I now call...
Is the victim dead?
Last I heard, he was in the hospital struggling for his life. I don't know if he'll make it. No, he didn't make it.
Yeah, is the victim dead? Going back isn't enough. I want reparations. Oh, you're
not yet. Some people are saying.
Get it? No, he's not. Okay. So when I send them back, I would take.
He's in a coma.
All their stuff. I send them back with the shoes on their feet. I'd say, you got this from here. We're gonna be nice. We're gonna let you keep that.
For the police,
I keep all their shit
with full transparency to disclose the ethnicity and immigration status of the person who perpetrated the attack.
Was obviously not an Irish person. I mean, it's
obviously
fucking obvious.
This is a disappointingly growing trend, which is affecting all of us. It stems from immigration, largely. It stems from the fact that
lack of accountability.
There's a whole industry of people who have made vast amounts of money propagating an industry called the human rights industry, which basically...
It's fake. Human rights industry is just about inventing...
What about the human rights of the guy who was on the floor in the streets, getting his nose and eye chopped off and his throat cut?
Different ways to guilt trip and emotionally blackmail Western countries into accepting infinity foreigners into their country and allowing their country to be taken over by those people. That's all it is. The moment I hear the word human rights, I'm like, this is going to be some emotional guilt trip manipulation shit, which says that their human rights are that they get to come to your country and get all your stuff, and then there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It's
human rights. They're allowed to carry knives because of their culture, but UK citizens aren't. And then UK citizens get stabbed and die. Like Henry Novak.
Traffic, yeah. I like that. Yeah, it's basically the globalist word for human trafficking. I like that.
He has fed off the back of the legal complexity surrounding human
No, he's not.
Law. Those are people like...
he said it was from Sudan.
Keir Starmer, Lord Hermer, a whole raft of people who I think put their own interests above those of the safety of the British people. And
they did.
It's time we got some honesty from the police force, who are paid for the British taxpayer, paid for by the British taxpayer.
The same British police that when a young white boy was stabbed by an illegal migrant, they put the white boy in handcuffs and let him die in bleed to death, because the foreigner said, the white guy's a racist. They've been trained to prioritize everyone except the native population of Britain, UK police.
They're supposed to serve the British taxpayer, and they're supposed to keep us all safe.
Well, they don't do any of that. They don't care about that. Human rights are valid. They cease to exist when you violate someone else's rights. The right to immigrate does not exist. Well, the human rights don't really...
Yeah, when leftists talk about human rights, they want you to give up your human rights for someone else's human rights. Because, you can be the guy lying on the street getting your eyes gouged out, so that the person gouging your eyes out can have the right to be in your country.
Really exists because there's no governing apparatus that everybody exists under. So the concept of a human rights is just it's a fantasy. Like, so basically rights are only like there are no human rights. There is no, people are entitled to, nobody has any of that. It's not real. The only things that are real are like the laws of physics, like gravity, things like that. And even that's, dubious, right? In some cases. So they're not God given. Like they are invented by people to be given to people. So we can try to, transcend, being animals, right? But basically it's turned into just a emotional blackmail to let these people into the country.
Yep.
It's a social contract. Yes, exactly.
You can quite clearly see with the death recently.
Against the will of the people in the country. Legal immigration, that's democracy. That's what the democratically elected officials set as what the people want in terms of immigration. Everything outside of that, that's undemocratic. That's activists and this small group of human rights activists and the media just forcing immigration against the will of the people. It's undemocratic.
Tragic death of Henry Novak.
Gravity is dubious. I can't. Well, yeah, I've read research about the way that black holes approach gravity, and they don't fully understand it, and they don't think that they understand the way that certain types of large, extremely, like astronomically, large structures exist because they defy the laws of gravity.
Yeah, gravity in terms of the Earth and everything that happens here on Earth is absolute. Way out black hole shit. We can't go into a black hole. What does it matter?
But yeah, I didn't say that for no reason. Yeah, like that actually is a thing.
We can see two-tier policing, and now I call for total transparency. If you have transparency, you have truth, and from truth you can actually start to
He's right.
Deal with.
Well, it's what I've been saying from the beginning. The media is the enemy, and spreading awareness is the solution. And bypassing the media, and like videos like this on X, is the way to go. And videos by Asmongold and other content creators highlighting issues. That's what we can do, and until we can eventually one day fix our media.
You're completely right.
That are causing the problem. Until we have that, I'm afraid we are going to continue to all of us suffer from increasing distrust, an increasing feeling of a lack of safety, and that is not going to be good for all of us. We want our high trust society back.
That's right.
We're not going to get it back by people being deceitful. We need honesty, we need truth, we need authenticity, and we need openness.
That's exactly right. No, he's totally right about this. Can you have the chat to explain dark matter for chat, please? I mean, I'm
not now.
That level. I'm not leveled up that much. The Belfast attacker was granted a 5-year visa by the UK government. Wow. I wonder why. That's crazy. Why would you do that? Why?
What was that? UK was over 95% white up until the 1990s. That is, until a Jewish woman called Barbara Roche became Minister of State for Asylum and Immigration under Tony Blair and opened the gates of hell on the unsuspecting British population. I wonder how many British citizens know this. Yes, she might have been responsible, but it was also the EU as a whole. And Britain was part of the EU that was letting unlimited immigration and doing this asylum nonsense and stuff. So, yeah, it's not just her. It's a big group of people, but she was part of it.
I wonder why. That's crazy. Why would you do that? Why would you, for any reason, make that decision? Man taken to the hospital with serious injuries after the stabbing. Oh, boy. I was just copying what Faraj said. I mean, like, a lot of people were going
even if he lives, he has to go through life without an eye or a nose.
to say the same thing. Right, it makes sense. It was an attempted beheading, be honest for once. What is this here?
It was an attempted beheading.
Oh, bro, it's always... I didn't even realize this. I was just, like, going through everything. BBC UK, it was an attempted beheading, be honest for once. As I said, the media are the enemy, right? And
Yes, you say that, yet you believe them in so many cases, like the war in Iran. I'm just pointing that out, that you believe them like a gullible sheep on a whole range of topics. It's only stuff like this that you don't believe, specific topics that you don't believe the media on.
And many such cases, unfortunately, right? And be careful with the footage. The uncensored is horrific. I mean, I just watch it live, honestly. If I was just streaming on Rumble and Kick, I would. But since I'm on Twitch, I have to follow extra rules, which is so annoying. But that's just the way it is. I know.
Honestly, I don't always watch videos like that. I never watched the video of Charlie Kirk's death because I read the descriptions, and if I watched the video, I'd get angry. Really angry. and I've watched this video, I'd get angry. And there's no outlet for the good outlet for that anger.
A lot of you guys like watching on other platforms, so I try to be reasonable, but that's it. New Belfast mayor highlights drive towards diversity in the city. Guys, I cannot express how much
diversity.
You can't have what is this here? Check the quote retweets. They changed the title. Okay, let me see. An African tried to behead an Irish kid is what they say. Fuck these people. Serious injuries after stabbing. Maybe the BBC's fact checkers might want to take a look at the article and tell us what it accurately represents. We can all see in the video. You mean an African migrant attempted to behead them? I don't think you have, mate. Oh, man. Jesus. Is that it? Guarantee you watch the ISIS beheadings, strange fascination with gore on the internet. I don't really like looking at gore. I don't have a problem looking at it. It doesn't really matter.
Same
I don't
here.
really care. I just don't want to see it. It's like I don't want to see a picture of a piece of shit. Like poop. I don't want to see a picture of a pile of poop. It's gross. I don't want to look at it. It's not like it's going to upset me. I just prefer not to look at it.
Oh, but in this case, I think it would upset you when it's... that video would definitely upset me in terms of making me angry. That is even angrier than I already am.
It's that simple. Community notes for the win. And a guy targeted from the Islamists tried sawing his head off in the middle of the street. You ridiculous lawn flamingos. What I was trying to get at with this is that you've got to go and you've got to hold the people that allowed this to happen accountable.
But that's what I said about the media being the problem. Just right there's an example of it. They lie about everything. And they cover up. The only reason they cover this is so big they can't hide it.
You do. You gotta hold them accountable directly. Like now, if it was up to me, right? If this was up to me, like if whenever you win, you got to take these people, take away their citizenship, and deport them to Sudan. Put them in Somalia.
Yep.
You're gone. You're done. Exile. That's what I would do. That would be like, I think that's what's fair, right? Because if you think that importing all these people into the country is a good thing, then you want your country to be more like their country. And if you like their country so much, it makes sense that you should just go and live in it.
I'd go after the media. You'd go after the media first. People that have been hiding like the UK grooming gang stuff for decades. Everyone involved with that. They are the number one problem. Everybody else, go after... That'll sort itself out, actually. You have an honest media and a report about the horrible things all these people have done, and everything will sort itself out.
That's what I would do. She's cute? Yeah. Sure. Dentistry Fees watching live from Belfast? Yeah, and so anyway, you got riots going on, right? And like, really no surprise here. Let me look at a few other posts about this. Looks like one weirdo boycotted became a figure of the Bud Light commercial.
Asylum seeker. He was an asylum seeker. Yes. This is people you want to give asylum to.
Oh, that? Yeah, that was some other shit. It wasn't a stabbing. You tried to butcher the man's neck and remove his head in the street. Think about that? Yeah, I mean, that's it. And so let me go back. I'm going to look at this here. And on October 23, 1 month later, General formally answered Parliament question. The UK has a proud history of supporting refugees. The UK is proud to have welcomed Sudanese nationals. Man. How about that? I saw one person, I replied to a post about this today, and let me go and show you guys. So we need calm heads. It's very important that people like Rupert Lowe, Elon Musk, Nigel Farage, and others don't use this horrific Belfast incident to whip up hostility and division against minorities, migrants, and Muslims living in the UK.
If they weren't living in the UK, these horrific incidents wouldn't be happening.
Okay, we all agree the incident was disgusting and horrific, and so I replied to this, and I said, these are the calm heads, actually. Keep running defense for these communities and reframing accountability as racism, and you will find that out.
That is a good way to put it, too.
You are going to be very, very surprised. And stop chopping off people's heads, exactly. And yeah, these guys, Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe, might be one of your last chances to have a moderate voice solve this problem. Because the problem will be solved. It will either be solved moderately.
Not Nigel Farage. He's against mass deportations. He won't solve this problem. Rupert Lowe, he would be the solution, the moderate solution.
Or in an extreme way. There's Like, this is a problem very clearly in a lot of these Western countries. Like, this can't continue. It obviously can't continue. I think everybody knows this.
Yes.
So the sooner that you stop it from happening, the sooner that you cut off the bleeding, the sooner that you're going to have, a higher chance to have things not be worse, right? And so you can either vote for and support people like Rupert Woe, and it turns out to be a page in a history book, or you can demonize and try to delegitimize people like Rupert Woe and Nigel Farage and Elon Musk, and you're going to end up with an entire chapter. Because that's what's going to happen. It's obvious that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Add a currency collapse to the mix of this environment, where you find out that the people that have been importing all these wonderful beheading people from all over the world have also completely wrecked the currency, and so the euro, the pound, and the dollar collapse. The anger as from the people, everyone, there'll be a revolution and it'd be bloody, and you won't have to deport it. Might not even have to deport people at that point, because they'll be running for their lives, and they either somehow manage to escape the country on the same dinghies they came in, or something worse happens. Hitler came to power after hyperinflation in Germany. Hyperinflation, very radicalizing.
Lose an arm, literally? Yes, exactly. And she's just saying, I don't know who this person is. I have no idea. But anyway, let me go back. I'm going to look at a few of these other posts here, too. Bring back Crusades. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to become increasingly more extreme. Only restore Britain can save Britain. I'm so glad Elon is talking about this shit. I'm so fucking like, thank God we actually
Yes, Elon Musk. He is one reason that you can now bypass media. As McGold could cover something, Elon Musk can retweet it, and then half the world knows.
Isn't it crazy that we would have never been able to even say any of this stuff 5 years ago? They already deleted most comments on Reddit, but this straight up what they themselves would have called racist and white supremacist comments 5 years ago, and now they're saying it. Let me see this. He's trying to cut his head off. Attacker saws at victim's neck in sickening Belfast knife attack. I really wish I hadn't seen this footage this morning. When will the penny drop for people? What more will it take? Man.
Mm-hmm.
The food for thought. Think of the food. Man. This is on Reddit. I wonder if this will be classified as the racist hate attack it clearly was. This reminds me that Reddit is actually, like, if you actually gave people freedom of speech on Reddit, my subreddit would be one of the most popular subreddits on the entire platform. The only...
possibly, yes. But if they had I have to say, if there was freedom of speech on Reddit, then a lot of other Reddits would be popular too, Asmongold. I'm not sure yours would be the most popular. Yours would definitely be popular, but oh my god, you'd have some insane subreddits created that are more extreme than even yours.
Reason why
they'd be popular.
The people that think like I do are not the predominant, completely oppressive force on Reddit is because Reddit is effectively a safe space for these leftist ideals. The moment that you allow freedom of speech,
sorry about that.
Space for these leftist ideals. The moment that you allow freedom of speech, whether it's on 4chan, Twitter, or YouTube, you immediately have the vast majority of people falling off on the side of people like me. That's the reason why. Same with Twitch. Yes, exactly. Same with Twitch. It's actually so fucking cut and dry how they deal with it, but no, the government protects these barbarians. I know that. And yeah, it's just really saying. And censorship hellhole, exactly. Reddit and TikTok have the same communities. Yeah, because they're moderated. But what my point is that, and I think that we really should be talking about how much progress we've made. We really should. And I think that a good frame of...
here's another one. That's more of a Trump... it's a Trump forum, but it's where Trump supporters used to post. They used to have a Reddit. It got shut down. They went to Patriots.win, so it's another place.
References for us to look at 10 years ago versus now. 10 years ago, a lot of these statements and saying this kind of stuff would get you immediately branded and labeled as a racist. And I think that this was an increasing in fever pitch into like COVID, right? Like you could have never had this conversation. You could have never had these opinions back in 2000.
The establishment really started completely losing control with COVID. Actually, Trump is when is probably where they really started losing control, but that spread a lot with COVID.
2016 and 5 years ago even. And we have shifted things so drastically and so dramatically in just 5 years. Imagine where we're going to be in the next 10.
You'll in the next 10, I don't think you want to know where we'll be in the next 10. We'll be, in terms of information though, you're right. We will be a lot more free in the next 10. There's just going to be a little bit of a, currency collapse during that period too.
So I know that a lot of people try to be negative and you try to, like you're demoralized, you don't want to vote, etc. I think that it's very easy for you to look at the current state of things and think to yourself, things are not in a good position right now. But if you really look at where we've come from and what we've had to overcome.
Oh, for me, yes. It's different from a lot of other people that are just finding out Pizzagate and finding out about all this immigration stuff. I've been reading stories, horrendous stories about what's going on with migrants for years. And it wasn't spreading at all. There's no awareness of it. Now, when something horrible like this happens, you have Elon Musk retweeting it, Asmongold covering it, and you have half the world who knows about it. That's now the new reality. And compared to what it was 10 years ago, that's miles better. And so, yes, but someone who hasn't been in my position, someone who's learning all this for the first time, it definitely seems like the world is ending. And that's probably where I was 10 years ago, except if you think it's bad, imagine learning all this, but at the same time, no one else is. And you know about Pizzagate, but 99.999% of other people don't. Oh, it was a terrible place to be. I'm so happy that these stories are spreading today when they used to never spread 10 years ago.
I think that things have been incredibly great. They have been amazing. Let me see here. And shifting it back before woke took power online. Yeah, I know that, right? And absolutely. It's funny that anti-vaccine during COVID or science, people say it's more than one sex. Everyone else says it's wrong to follow the science. Yeah, definitely. It might swing back the other way. Well, it's important to always be vigilant.
It won't, because it's all this Trump's election, COVID, the slow collapse of mainstream media's. It's symptoms of the U.S. hegemony over the world ending. They used to be able to control information completely. But now, just look at this draft. Trust in mainstream media. Trust in media reaches new low. This is it used to be even higher than that, up to in the 80s and 90s. This is the establishment losing control. It's irreversible. It's just like our national debt is now beyond anything we can ever repay. It's never going back to the way it was. The establishment is never reestablishing control over the narrative. The mainstream media's trust in mainstream media is going to collapse until all the stories that have been suppressed by mainstream media come to light. Like World Trade Center 7 on 9/11. The third skyscrapers that collapses. Once 99% of America knows that 3 skyscrapers collapsed on 9/11, you'll know we're getting there.
Though it is, and that's why, like any of these, like my advice is that you should never, whenever any of these people whenever they seem like they're on your side, whenever they have like a good take on something, you should never take their side. Never take their side, because there's a reason why they're thinking that, and I can guarantee you that reason is not in your best interest. This age, like fine wine.
Anyone on the basis of their race.
Yeah, but you're saying that our culture has changed because we've had other cultures come here. Is that your position?
Well, it's not my position.
Assimilation works both ways. when you allow migrants to come in, the bigger the quantities, the more your people are start adopting the wonderful culture of those who are coming in, including beheadings and UK grooming gangs, etc.
It's a fact, and you just said it at the beginning. So it's better. So what about British culture didn't you like and has been improved by new cultures?
well,
Tell me, what didn't you like before? What are you glad is gone from the Britain you grew up in?
Let me tell you, if you came to London in the 50s and 60s, the food was crap. Absolute crap.
Well, it was that way in the 80s when I was here.
Right. Now, we have some of the best gastronomy.
Okay, this is bad. UK food has always been crap. It's still crap. You think food, you think French food, Italian food, Chinese food. UK food is crap. It's always been crap. If it's become better, then that's... No, it hasn't become better.
Amazing. Some of the most expensive, too. I wonder, is everyone eating there?
No, I can
The food? It's always the food. Fat people are such a problem. They're such a problem.
You paid $1,000 for dinner last
You're
night.
a wealthy man leading a very wealthy lifestyle.
Holy shit.
Why don't you
Bro, really? God.
If he's paying, if he's invited someone else for dinner, like several people, like 4 or 5 people, 1,000 at a good restaurant, that's normal.
Damn.
come with
Food
me?
here is-
Come with me to Brick Lane. Come with me to Brixton. I'll give you a proper
I
meal.
love it.
And
You and I will go to the tough parts of town and eat street food, but
I can give
Actually,
you
more like 6 or 7.
a great
But are
meal.
you really saying the
I'll take you to
food?
I'll take you to the top end of Portobello Market. Right, you come with me. If you
I love this reasoning, and I'm so glad, by the way, because this, like, Piers he is giving the...
I know there's some UK food that's edible. Otherwise the British wouldn't have survived this long. But in general, Britain is not known for its food.
safe opinion. This is the safe opinion to have, is that the reason why migration is good is because of food, right? It's basically the indulgent, easy, slop, liberal opinion
You can learn to cook good food without importing unlimited amount of migrants.
that you're able to have, and, you know, people don't really criticize it a lot, right? That's it. Boomer tard argument. Yes, exactly. It's a boomer argument. It definitely is. And, but yeah, what I'm saying is that Tucker Carlson even saying this in this interview, this would have been unthinkable 10 years ago. When this happened, he crashed out and said this on Twitter. I think I remember this. I don't follow Piers Morgan. Oh, I thought I did. There are a lot of white English people I would happily trade for a good weekly chicken tikka masala. Really? Well, it looks like you...
Well, you traded one of them. He was beheaded or attempted beheaded and is a coma. So you are trading your British friends for food.
traded one in Belfast just yesterday. Congratulations. It's really sad. It's crazy to me. Tikka masala is a UK dish, by the way.
Dude was mentally disabled too, from what I hear. Yes, that's what I heard too. Yes. He was a kind man who helped everyone. Yes, I believe it.
Yeah, it's... Softbot? Yeah, it's like, congrats, Spears. I know. And fucking disgusting. I know. Just, they care so much about food. It's just so sad. Yes, sell out your people for food. Move to that country. This is...
I just think again, it's, to me, the Israel and this immigration, it's so similar. Like, anyone who looks at the truth of what's happening in Palestine, Lebanon, who ignores mainstream media and goes to YouTube and gets the real truth as to what's actually happening, there's no way you can be pro-Israel. It's just so horrendous. Immigration, same way. You go and you get the real truth, like what happened in this case with the beheading. There's no way you can be pro-migration. And it's funny, the leftists who are already, who don't believe mainstream media about Israel's not doing anything wrong. When mainstream media says that, they don't believe it. They believe it when the mainstream media says, "Oh, the migrants are all just nice people who they're not criminals." And no. Some of them are horrendous monsters who want to try to behead you.
replacement migration. Alex Jones, November 2025. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Suicidal empathy? Well, it's not even that, right?
Been improved by new culture.
Of young girls.
Is what I'm saying. So
argument used? Why should we flood our country with other people? Well, chicken curry. Thousands of young girls get raped. Chicken curry. And I know this might shock a lot of people. You're going to want to be prepared for this. But me, as an Irishman, I have made pasta before. I know. Crazy. I'm not Italian, but I know how to make pasta. And
Yes.
even crazier is I have made chicken curry before. Crazy. Absolutely shocking stuff.
thought you
You
can't
don't
do
need
that.
a million Pakistanis in your country to enjoy a kebab. And I know this thinking might be crazy to people like Piers Morgan, but I would eat potatoes for the rest of my life if it meant my country, Ireland, was always home to Irish people. That
Yep.
was full of my own people.
I think that most people feel
Agreed.
that way.
Agreed.
I don't want Ireland full of Nigerians,
Yep.
Indians, Pakistanis.
Nope.
I don't want Ireland to resemble England, for England to resemble Germany, Germany to resemble Belgium, for all the
Exactly. I like diversity, actual diversity. I want to be able to go to a country and it's different than another country. I don't want all of Europe to be basically the Middle East or Africa.
nations to be replaced in
Bless
the
the
name
potato.
of chicken curry and a kebab shop on every corner. I have no intention of seeing that happen in my lifetime.
Thank God.
Ireland should be full of Irish people.
I'm so glad that we have a lot of young guys now that are willing and open about saying this stuff.
Yeah, and it's just going to snowball. There's no turning this back. There's no pendulum going to swing the other way. No. It's still swinging this direction, and it's going to swing a lot farther and for a lot longer. Maybe in 50, 100 years it could swing the other direction again, but not anytime soon.
Because for a long time, like, I think that people like me have always felt this way, but we haven't been able to say it. And now it's, and I think especially what I find to be really interesting is it's not the people that are my age. I'm 35. It's the people that are a bit younger than me, the people that are 23, guys that are 27. They're the ones that are even more adamant about it than I am. And I think that's a great thing. That's an amazing thing. Yeah, you're a normie. Well, I mean, again, like
So I had to say this, Asmongold. You're better than most normies because on some subjects you've educated yourself, like Pizzagate. But on a lot of things like the Iran war, you've got a long way to go. You're so normie.
there is a spectrum and a window in which I can behave, and I exist inside of that window.
And if your excuse to change that is you like a kebab every Saturday, well, to me, that's not a good enough reason.
It's not a good enough reason to ethnically replace the population of a country in order to get kebabs. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'd say that's a pretty good argument. I would agree with that. 100%. The cultural melting pot's one of the most destructive lies that was ever pushed in America or any country for that matter. I think that America used to be a
melting pot that is somewhere that's temporary, like or trade town where trade boats come in from all around the world, and there's natural melting pot. Yeah, that type of place. Yeah, that's great. But no, not at the UK countryside. No, that shouldn't be a melting pot.
melting pot, and it was a good thing. The problem is that people stopped melting and they wanted to be a separate side dish that, was separate from the pot. That's the main issue, is that I don't think people have a problem with limited immigration where people can come over and become citizens, right? The problem
No
is
one had problem with Chinatown in New York. As long as it was just having one area that in a big city there was Chinatown, that was fine. It's but it's when you start having Chinatowns or the equivalent Pakistani towns and Indian towns all across the United States, everywhere. And no, in a big touristy city like New York, yes, you can have a melting pot, but nowhere else. It shouldn't be like that everywhere.
there are two big problems, right? The first problem is that it's happening too much. So, like, it's okay to let 100 people in. It's okay to maybe let 1,000 people in. But is it okay to let 100,000 people in, or is it okay to let 3 million people in? So it's a matter of degree and also assimilation.
And it should be both ways. There should be as many UK people leaving as coming in, or otherwise you're just your people are being erased. Meaning, what I'm saying is, Africa is not becoming more white. It's only Europe that's becoming more black, and in other words, it's white people being erased.
A lot of these people don't assimilate. They don't assimilate. They stay in their own cultures. They keep their own cultures. They have their own values. They have their own religion. And that religion and value system is directly antithetical to the way that the country behaves. So it causes a huge problem. I don't think that most people really have a problem with some random guy from India coming to India and becoming a British citizen and, you know, like being a normal guy. Like, they don't want to see every Indian come over. And they don't want to have that Indian guy, you know, continuing to think that he should get exemptions because he wants to bring...
It's off topic, but I'll ask you a question. If they're getting access to an AI chat tool, that's because it's probably more expensive. AI companies are not profitable, and they're probably charging more, and they want to force you to log in so that you maybe have to pay. And I wouldn't say it's for ferreting out whistleblowers or smart investigators. It's just AI... It's not free. Well, it was free until very recently, possibly because whoever was doing the AI, the company they were using for the AI was offering it for free. If the AI company offering the AI started charging, it can't be free no more. And I think I was reading or watching a video on this the other day, is that AI companies have started charging a lot more for all of their AI models recently. Like all of them, like for coding, huge increases. Like GitHub has started charging a lot more for their coding software. So, and yeah, we can look at that another day. But yeah, it's not something nefarious. It's the AI. People are trying to charge more. It's becoming less free.
A knife, you know, he's a Sikh or something like that. But generally, one ring, one pot. Yeah, exactly. I do. I think that generally, I think people feel that way conceptually, but in reality, I think that they don't really care about it as much as they might mention. I think it's about the degree. Like, if you saw somebody like that, like 1 out of like 1,000 people, out of like 10,000 people, I don't think that people would have a big problem with it. But when it's 1 out of like 3, that's a totally different dynamic. And I think that's really the difference, is that these people, again, it's too much. It's too many. That's the problem. People always bring up immigration in the 1900s as a defense, but the original U.S. immigrants came here to work, not to do fraud and go on welfare. Well, again, like, you should never make a decision based off of something that happened where everybody that was alive then is dead now, right? You shouldn't be basing decisions off of that. I think for being 80% males and the rest being wives and children is a big issue. There are videos of talking about how they're importing only women, non-feminist women would fix to help a lot of South Korean population from North Korea or Vietnam. Yeah, I'm not really sure about that. All I'm saying is that I think that there's definitely a lot of like kind of, you know, Venn diagram effects of this. And so here we go. Oh my God. Glasgow stands with all of the... This might be the biggest one I've seen.
What's this?
Keep in mind, gentlemen, the only thing you really need to do is to get the military on your side. You do that, you do anything you want. That's the only thing that's stopping you from doing what you want.
Yep.
There's a bunch of these other videos. Holy shit. Migrant HMOs? What are HMOs? Are being targeted and set on fire in Northern Ireland. Holy shit. Oh my God.
They shouldn't
Housing
be there.
multiple occupancy. The guy.
You fucking foreigners!
Isn't that what they say at the beginning of Bloodborne, whenever they're all gathered around that fire in Old Yarnum? With like the fucking pitchforks and they're like trying to stab you?
Thing is, some innocent migrants are going to be hurt because not all of them are beheading monsters. But because the government insists on protecting the beheading monsters, the innocent ones are going to get hurt. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is something like that. It's starting, yeah. Oh my God, look at this. Holy shit. And yeah, there's a footage of a bus burning too. Look at this. A bus has been set on fire in Belfast. My advice also is don't burn your own shit down.
Yeah.
Don't destroy your own buildings.
Well, if this was a bus used to move migrants, you don't know the contact status of gold. You shouldn't be saying that yet.
Destroy your own property. Northern Ireland is the biggest pressure cooker in Europe. Anywhere it pops off, Agenda Free TV has good footage. Yeah. I'm going to look at some more of the footage in just a minute. What triggered the latest one? A Sudanese migrant that recently came to Ireland tried to decapitate an Irishman in the middle of the street with a knife and stabbed out his eye and cut off his nose.
Yep, that's... Yeah, and the guy's probably going to die.
Good. Not good. And maimed him. Yes, exactly. So people are upset about this. They're mad. Why can't they see this will create nationalist zeal and not prevent it? I don't know, actually. I really don't know. I think that, like...
See, the problem with illegal migration is you can't vet anyone coming in because they're all illegal. It's not official. And so you let monsters in, like this guy who tried to behead this man in Ireland.
It seems very obvious where this is going, but, you know, for some reason, people don't want to look at it. Mass Belfast use on the streets after the migrants in Belfast right now. Uh-oh. Damn.
The police trained to betray their own countrymen and put non-whites above whites.
The troubles, and do you remember 2 or 3 years ago when I told y'all this was going to start happening? Remember that? And everybody said that, like, they said I was wrong, I was stupid. They said there was no way. I told y'all, like, this is the only... Did you? I did.
It was obvious, so I don't know. But yes, you did say it.
I said very clearly, like, things are going to get even more extreme. What's the IRA? The Irish Resistance Army, I believe. And only at 5 or 10%. Yeah, this, by the way, is first gear. This is first gear.
Yeah.
And let me go back. England for the English.
England for the English! England for the English! England for the English!
England's for the Europeans!
We have come so far in only 5 years.
Yes, I agree with that.
We have come so incredibly...
But you have so far to go, and it's not going to be a fun trip.
And amazingly far. Man. It's a big W. And don't forget, Europeans know how to have a proper riot. Maybe. It's just a taste before tonight. Uh-oh. A purge is on the horizon, it would seem. I don't know about that. I hope not. I certainly hope not. I hope that they can just peacefully do deportations. That's my desire. More and more.
I agree, but when are they going to call elections? How soon is this going to happen? How many more attempted and successful beheadings will it take?
There's in Belfast. This is more of the image.
Anyway, I think that's enough on this topic. We've gotten a gist of how things are going and where they're going. And it's insane. I never thought I would hear the story of an attempted beheading right on a British street. That's how far the UK has fallen. Anyway, like and subscribe, come watch on Kick or Twitch, and I'll see you next video. Bye.